Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Your Story Today. So a few months ago, we started this show called Your Story Today. And when we started the show called Your Story Today, it was basically for people to tell their stories, for authors to come on and showcase their work, and for us to learn about different themes that inspire writers to do their work. And the show has developed over time. So over time, we have invited people to talk to you about money and travel, and you loved that show. We've invited authors books, and you loved those shows. We've invited people to talk to you about Africanism and culture and all those things, social justice, and you loved those shows. So it's been a very interesting ride, and I'm very happy with how far this ride has come so far. So we just want to continue with that today. And starting today, we are introducing a new segment. And this new segment is basically a segment for book reviews. And in a segment for book reviews, what you're basically doing is you are picking books from different authors and trying to look at those books in terms of why should somebody read them. So we are trying to help you to understand why you should read these books and also familiarize yourself with these books. So today is the very first time that we'll be doing the live book reviews, and I hope it's going to be a very interesting session of book review. I have two very amazing guests for you today. The guests today are all ladies. Now, you might want to question my commitment to gender equality there, but I will advise you not to, because this is going to be a very, very interesting session. So I want to introduce, the first guest, and the second guest will join us in a bit. But for now, I'll introduce to you the first guest. She's never been on this show before. This is her first time on this show. She'll give her own introduction of herself. So she'll tell us who she is and, how she likes to do her things, because she's a cultured lady. She's a lady who likes to do her things in a very interesting manner. And she's also a bit shy. Shy show. Okay, don't worry about it. So she'll introduce herself and she'll tell us a bit more about herself. So I want to welcome on set Sophina Mourinho. I like calling her Nelsoni, but I don't know why she doesn't use that name so much. She'll tell us why. So, Sophina, welcome to the show.
Hi, Douglas. How are you?
Sophina, are you mute?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. You are mute.
Oh.
Actually, I'm the one who was mute. Okay.
I
had muted my speaker so that it doesn't give me feedback. Then I'm asking why I can't hear you. Why do I do that to myself? Anyway, how are you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I was just being stupid. I had muted myself. So I'm sure everyone else was wondering why I'm saying I can't hear you.
In that brief moment, I gave a full introduction. Imagine.
No, you did not. I'll ask Sitso Kwaku. Sitso Kwaku is watching us from Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, in the United States. I don't even know what time that is. He'll tell me whether he was hearing you and whether you gave any introduction or stuff. Because I'm pretty sure you did not.
All right, no problem. So thank you so much for having me on this platform. To everyone who's watching us, my name is Sophina Mourinho. Now, Douglas said, how come you don't go by Nelsoni? I still do. It's just that at some point in life, you have to start using your government names.
So Nelsoni is not your government name?
Well, it's a nickname. One of those names you just get growing up, and then, yes. So it's a nickname.
Okay. And so how did you come to start using Nelsoni so much? Or how did I come to start calling you Nelsoni more than I call you Sofina?
Well, ideally, people love their nicknames more than their government names. So I really like Nelsoni, and it's just the name, you are my friend. You are my friend. So that's the name my friends use. Yeah, so it's perfect. My name. I'm Sophina Mourinho Nelsoni. Yes, there we go.
Sophina Mourinho Nelsoni. I'll have to get used to that because I'm just used to calling you Nelsoni Sofina. I don't even know where my Mourinho comes from.
Either. There are people who call me Merino. So I'm that dynamic, just embracing my names. Yes.
Perfect.
The same way
and you do very well to embrace your name there. Now, having some feedback from one of my devices, so I decided to switch it off.
That's okay.
I hope this one has a better camera and a better view.
It's very good. It's very good.
I like this one more. Now, tell us about yourself, Sofina, before we get into the books that you are going to review today. Who is Sofina and what do you do?
Well, when we speak about Sofina, I think I'd rather, in a very large way, I'd say I'm a lover of life. Okay. I enjoy life, yes. But most importantly, professionally, I am an advocate for education, quality education for the African child. So that is what I do on a professional level, mostly doing consultancies in training. But also, besides that, I'm an editor for the KE Idealist. And now that's where, that comes in with what you're doing today, because I do the book reviews and the lifestyle segment in the Kenya KE Idealist website. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. So I love reading. I am a lover of books. I particularly love African books, and of late, I've been exploring books from the Middle East. So I've been reading a lot of Afghanistan books and Turkey. So
what?
Yeah, that's that's
why
my.
Would you be reading? Why have you been reading books from Afghanistan again?
Well,
why exactly have you been reading books from Afghanistan?
Well, it's a story.
What's the motivation? What would be the motivation for you to read books from Afghanistan?
Well, I stumbled upon the works of Kader Abdullah, who's done work such as My Father's Notebook. So, you just read a... Can you hear me? Douglas? Well, let's give Douglas a minute to come back on. But as I was saying, I've read books by Kader Abdullah, one of them being My Father's Notebook. And it was just about connecting, really being able to connect with the story. And so from then, I just, went into, what would I call it, a spiral. I came across works of persons such as Nadifa Mohammed. And yeah, ever since it's just been a roll. Yeah, it's just been a roll. Yeah, and then even in that, speaking about Turkey, I've actually just read one Turkish author, and that's Elif Shafak. And yeah, it was just the realization that, we have different authors bring out different aspects in their world. So like for Turkey, it was just understanding, I don't know how many of us know about the challenge, but there was the black and white color challenge. And well, in the world over, it was about women beauty. But the truth is, that started in Turkey, whereby there's a lot of femicide and women get killed. So yeah, that's how my interest in books from Afghanistan and Turkey. And now I'm actually exploring more. I've done a bit of China. That's where my interest began. Yes. So I can see Douglas is still trying to get in. And maybe just to continue to just, share my experience. Hi, Douglas.
Yes. That happened.
It's okay. That's okay.
It happens once every Friday. So I'm happy that today it has happened very fast and we are done with it. Once every Friday, KPS just decides to switch me off and then I come back.
That's okay. So for me, I was just, sharing my interests about how I came to have an interest in books from Afghanistan and Turkey. And now I'm looking into China. Yeah, so there we go.
Your tests are definitely very interesting. So Sitso Kwak, welcome to the show. I can see you're watching us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And you're already starting to interact with us. The mention of the African child conjured with the spirit of Kamara Lai. Okay, I have to admit, I don't know who Kamara Lai is. I have to research that.
All right.
Because Siso goes ahead to ask, even before we start, have you encountered the works of Esar Kemal?
Now, that is a work I will be looking for with immediate effect. No, I have not, and thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I've not encountered that author, so it would be a very interesting author to get into. Anyway, so how you came to be on this show is that you do a lot of book reviews, and we want to delve into 2 books that you are really interested in. So before we go very far, I would want you to tell the audience exactly which books you'll be looking at. And then also, just in the interest of disclosure, we have another guest who will be coming on the show. Of course, she's in Nairobi. So when you're in Nairobi, you'll encounter traffic once in a while. So she's stuck there on traffic. I hope she doesn't get caught by curfew. She'll join us in about 3 minutes. And then she'll come back to review some Kenyan books. But you'll be reviewing African books for us, right?
Yes, I will.
Which books are you focusing on?
So when we come to Africa, I've been able to read books from Somalia, our very own Kenyan authors, And so today I want to take us to Nigeria. And in Nigeria, Nigeria and Ghana. So in Nigeria, we'll be looking at the secret lives of Baba Sigi's wives. And this is a book by Lola Shoneyin.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be telling you the secrets of a polygamous family.
I am very interested in knowing those secrets.
And then I wanted to move a little bit down, going to Ghana. And now in Ghana, we are going to look at Homegoing, which is the work of Ya Gyasi. So Ya Gyasi, she says Gyasi. Okay, depending on who taught you English. So let me just call her Ya Gyasi. So she is a Ghanaian. She was born to Ghanaian parents, but she was able to grow up in the US. So I'll also be telling you about, how that relationship with her parents coming from Africa and her being raised in the USA influenced and impacted this book, Homegoing. So those are the 2 books we'll be looking at today.
Excellent. That's very much interesting. And so today we'll just be helping our viewer to understand, if they are going to read these books, how can they read them? What is the best approach to read them? What are the themes that you found very interesting in these books while reading them? And very, very small issues like those. And we are going to have fun while doing it. So where do you want us to start? Do you want us to start in Nigeria, or do you want us to start in Ghana?
I think, let's start by the beach. It's always a good feeling to start by the beach.
So we start in Ghana, right?
We're starting in Ghana.
Now, I know I have some friends from Nigeria, and they'll be watching me, and I don't know how safe I will be after I've said this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've been told that Ghanaians speak in italics, so their letters are normally in italics, and Nigerians speak in capital letters. Now, how you interpret that information is totally on you. But I'm told Ghanaians speak in italics, Nigerians speak in capital letters, and Kenyans, of course, speak in. Pardon?
You will be in trouble after that.
Yeah. I don't even know whether I'll be safe. I know I'm in trouble, but well, it's trouble I'm willing to shoulder. But I'll deal with it as it comes. So we start in the people who speak in italics before we come to capital letters. Kenyans speak in small letters. Kenyans don't even know how to speak in capital letters. I'll be even in our trouble after saying that statement. So from Ghana, tell us about this book. First of all, why did you pick this book off the shelves to read it? Was it by impulse, or did you get a recommendation like you got from Kwaku today to go and find that book?
Well, what happened is I happened to also just be a member of several book clubs. And this was one of the books that came up. So when Ya Gyasi's book came up, there was a lot of both positive and negative criticism. So I was like, no, I have to get a hold of this book to understand, what all the fuss around it is about. So that is how I got my hands on the book Homegoing by Ya Gyasi. So it was, even after this session, I'm hoping for us to continue the buzz around it, because it's really hot stuff, really.
So you are encouraging us to be as radicalized as you are in that book.
Yes.
That is radical. Now, why I'm told it's pronounced as Jassi, right? It's Jassi.
Yes. Yes. Written
Jassi,
as
okay.
Gyasi.
Jassi.
Yes.
Gyasi. Jassi.
Gyasi.
I'm going to try and pronounce it
Gyasi.
as Jassi because people get very mad when you pronounce their names wrongly. So I'm going to try and pronounce it right. So what is the central theme in this book? If somebody is going to pick this book off the shelf, what kind of book are these people picking? Is it a crime book? Is it a historical book? What kind of book are they picking?
Well, this is a fictional book about African history. And why do I say this? Because all the characters that are in this story were made up in Gyasi's mind. But the truth is, as you follow the trail of what happens in the book, you realize it's outlining the history of slavery on the west coast of Africa and how the slaves got to America and their lives after that. So, yes, it's a fictional book outlining the history of slave trade in Africa and the impact it had on the Africans who went to America.
Interesting. Because Sito said that he's Ghanaian American and he was raised in Nairobi. So he's a very interesting person to listen to perspectives in terms of what he thinks about that book, especially now that he's encountered all the cultures. There's a lot of interesting stuff about the African American culture. There's a lot of interesting stuff about the West African culture. And then there is Nairobi, which is just a package in itself. So this guy is a full package. Anyways, so this is basically a book that is fictional history of Africa.
Yes.
Perfect. And when you read that book, essentially, what kind of emotions do you find in that book, especially in terms of the themes that are developed there?
Wow. Now that's thank you for that question. And allow me to, just get back into how I felt reading the book. So
continue.
I think one theme that is really outlined is the family. Now let me tell you something. Why you should grab this book. Can you imagine? Gyasi has been able to outline a story with a time span of 300 years between the first characters and the final characters. Now, let me just dive into this. I'm talking about the theme of family, okay? So the story starts on let me say the south coast of Ghana, whereby we have this, we have just, the normal African village, we have the normal African village going on. Then what happens, we get a family where our daughter is born, okay? Now, this daughter born into this family is called Efia, all right? Efia's mother had previously been married in another village, and she got another daughter. But she was, what's it called? These people who steal, sorry, I did say people who steal from other villages. What was it called? When you attack another village.
Yes. Okay. Should we call them bandits?
All right. So in the...
Okay, let's call them bandits.
Just say, yeah, okay, fine. Not really bandits, but you know how African villages used to fight each other. And in this, we also look at the issue of slave trade. So they'd go attack another village in order to acquire slaves. Yes. So this woman previously had a daughter, so left her daughter, then was bandited and raised another family. Okay. So there's a daughter growing on one side, and there's another daughter now growing in this home. So these are half sisters. These are two sisters from one mother who will have different fathers. Now, as the story ends, almost about 300 years later, we are following the storyline of these two girls. Now, one girl was left in native Ghana, all right? Why? Because her family was strong. Let me say that. They were strong. And she was married off to a white man, okay? She was married off to a white man. So she stayed in the Ghana region. The other sister, unfortunately, their village was attacked and she was caught as a slave. Hence, she was taken to America. Okay.
United States. Okay.
The sister who was left in Ghana is called Efia. The sister who went to the USA is called AC. So through these two girls, we get to see the family lineage. We get to see the challenges that were faced by the people who stayed in Africa. Now, with this, I want to bring in another theme that is shown in this book. There's the issue of heritage, okay? So, those who stayed in Africa, remember we had our traditional practices. So, those who are able to continue, we are talking about the unit of being able to stay in a community, people taking care of each other, the issue of language, the issue of culture, uh, how cultural perspectives affect us, So all these issues come up. Now, how this is contrasted, remember Essie's family went to the United States of America. So now how this is contrasted, you get to see the struggle that is there. One, they cannot retain their identity. These are slaves, okay? They cannot retain their language. There's the issue of, we see a case where AC is raped. So she has biracial children. These kids, it's even, in some cases, we're seeing them feeling ashamed to associate with okay, not the black culture, like to associate with the Africanness, because the lighter your skin, the better privileged you are. So we see that conflict that comes in. It's very, very clear in the story. So, yes, so it's a book. Once you grab it, I mean, you have 300 years of family history, you have 300 years of oppression. Yes, which is the other theme actually. So we have the theme of oppression. Again, we're looking at the slaves who've been able to be taken to America. We all know how that goes. Working in the plantations. There's even a scenario where two Africans fall in love, try to escape, and they get killed. Okay, so the theme of oppression it's very dominant, and Jassy, she's just been able to bring that out in a way. When you grab the book, you get into the feelings. I was after finishing, and just to go back to heritage, after finishing reading this book, I literally wanted to know where, okay, of course I might come from, but it was more like, okay, so when the white man came, I come from the coast region. When the white man came to the coast region, what are those factors that affected, well, clearly I didn't get the answers, but that's the kind of curiosity that the book brings out in you. Yeah, so I think those are three themes that I've been able to outline. And maybe the other one, which also comes out, is discrimination, where I've outlined, the lighter skinned blacks would feel privileged. And even in Africa, it's the same thing. If you're an African, you are viewed as one, a slave, and then two, you do not have rights compared to the white man. Yeah. So that's
Interesting.
really it. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, when you are giving all that story, I was remembering a movie that I watched some time back. It was called Django Unchained. I can't remember exactly the names of the authors, but I can remember Django. So it was basically around the same issue of slavery that you're talking about. And I'm sure I've even pronounced the name wrong. So if somebody remembers it in the comments, I will be in trouble as well. And just for the record, I'm already receiving messages on WhatsApp from my Nigerian friends. They are like, no, we do not speak in capital letters. But they speak in capital letters. Now,
I told you.
I am in trouble and I'll deal with it. Anyway, back to Jassy. That's about the themes. What do you like most about this book in terms of, the story aside? What do you like most about this book?
Now, that question is the point of controversy that got me to read this book. Because what I like about it is the diversity of the characters. Like I was sharing earlier, I think there are literally more than 20 characters outlined in this book because
Yes.
it's a movement from one generation to the next. So this is what can I say? If you're not a careful reader, you can honestly get lost in the middle of it all, honestly. But if you're a reader who is able to just align your thoughts and, just go with the flow, just enjoy the story, you'll find it to be, I don't want to say it was a challenging read, but it's an exciting read. You know how you read those books, you have so many characters and you have to keep connecting them to understand the story? Yes. So for me, that is a strength. But like I'm saying, the bone of contention, to some people, they feel that's the weakness. So yes, that's the thing I think is best about this book.
Now, Sito it's helping you about this book. He's saying also the creation of Creole. Is this Creole or Creole? Creole communities that were free Creole families in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. I think I need to read this book. And also, I think I need to bring Eunniah on the screen. I can see her somewhere in the background. She's smiling and having fun. She's always she's a very happy character. I don't know what always keeps her happy. I can see she's starting a watch party. So let her start that watch party. Then I'll bring her on the screen in a minute. Now, before I bring Eunniah, because Eunniah will come and start running for 160 kilometers per hour. So you like the character development and the diversity of the characters in this story.
Yes.
Here comes the question that might make people throw stones at you, especially the owners of the book. What did you not like about the book? And I'm really avoiding saying what did you hate about the book. That could get you in trouble, but we'll deal with the trouble.
It's all right. Now, what I didn't like about the book, I mean, just having the experience of having read so many other books, I feel she would have. Now, remember I mentioned the many characters who are the strength of the story. But now the negative aspect of this is I feel most of these characters were left hanging. I have embarked on a slavery journey, okay, with a character. They have gotten to America. I have invested my time, my emotions, the seasickness. I have been there. And then they get to America and they are sold to a plantation and they get lost. And then because there were 5 people in the boat, I've lost touch with 4 of them, and the story continues with one character. So I think for me, I felt that would have been done better, that would have been done better. So maybe getting fewer characters to focus on. But yeah, that aspect of leaving the characters hanging, I quite didn't like that.
Interesting. I am so sure the fans of that book will be coming for your neck, and I don't know how much you like it. But prepare for some strong throwing. Anyways, Eunniah is in the background, so I want to bring Eunniah here, and this is going to be very interesting because Eunniah will be meeting Sofina. Sofina will be meeting Eunniah, and then all of them will be meeting this idiot whom they have met so many times. Anyways, let me bring Eunniah. I'm just confirming that she is ready now. I think finally, good. There you go. She is finally ready. Eunniah, how are you?
Oh my God.
I was talking you.
I know.
Is that what we call bad hair day?
No, this is a good hair day.
Oh my God.
You can't see.
How is that a hairstyle? You guys should get serious.
This is my hair. Easy extension.
Anyways, I am sorry. I am very, very sorry. Now I have put myself in triple trouble. 1, I am criticizing people's books, so people are going to stone me for that. 2, I have talked bad about Nigerians and Ghanaians, and 3, I have talked bad about hair police. I am in trouble, big time trouble. What?
Big trouble.
Okay, I'll deal with it. Welcome to the show, Eunniah. How are you?
Thank you. I am fine. Sorry, I am late. Hey, Nairobi things. Nimetoka ofisi quite late, so I am late, but I'm here.
Inaitwa kutafuta unga. Endelea kutafuta unga. Muhimu sana.
Kutafuta wa baba will throw stones, so I have to look for my own money.
Wababa walikushinda. This Wababa story is very bad. You see, even Sito is taking over the show. He's saying locks Mengara. Sito, you will not take over my guy.
Mengara, when you are saying a bad hair day, wacha niwageukie tena.
It's fine. I throw my hands up. Anyways, welcome. I didn't introduce you on purpose because I know you have quite a profile. So Sofina has already introduced herself, and you'll be the unfortunate one to miss the introduction. Although I understand you are following the show from whatever traffic you are stuck in. So who is Eunniah anyway? Eunniah is, apart from being a lover of a baba, what else?
Eunniah is an electrical and electronic engineer. Eunniah is a passionate reader and a creative writer, 2 times published author. I have co-authored 2 other books. My first book is called Breaking Down. My second book is called If My Bones Could Speak. My third book is a co-authored book with 12 other writers. It's called When a Stranger Called. My 4th book is also co-authored with a million other writers. It's called Kaskazi. It's a novel. Yes, those are the books to my name.
Yeah. So you are just going to come on my show. You're just going to come on my show and have more books than me so that people look at me badly, right?
Wait,
yes. What are you doing?
Yes, I'm even stopping her there because... Oh, you have a blog as well?
Yes, let me continue. I blog every Thursday on my blog. It's called mbabaziafrica.com. I also work for a media house. It's called the Kenyan Wall Street. I am the editor-in-chief. Yes, I am the editor-in-chief. Yes, nimemaliza sasa.
Umemaliza?
Nimekusamehea.
Okay. Here is my profile. I eat, I drink, I sleep, I wake up. Now we are done. Very much done. Welcome to the show. Very, very good. Very nice to have you here. Now you will be reviewing for us 2 books. We are already close to done with one of the ones from Sofina. So which 2 books will you be reviewing for us today?
Am I allowed to show the book?
Yes, you are allowed. Feel free.
I am doing Me versus Me. I hope you can see my beautiful nails. You can see my nails.
Why are you showing us the book or the nails? We can deal with that.
But my selling point is my nails. So this is the book I'm reviewing. It's called Me versus Me, Conversations with My Tomorrow. And another one called Nas.
The other one is called Nas on the Run. Nas on the Run is by who? Christine
Kinyua. Someone is bringing it to me just right now.
Perfect. So you are reviewing Kenyan books while Sofina is reviewing African books. This is very interesting. So Sofina is stuck in the West. She's dealing with Nigerians and Ghanaians. You are stuck in the East. You are dealing with Kenyans. You two are dealing with troubled people who speak in capital letters and small letters. So let me get done with Sofina here. One more question, then I'll come back to you at 674 kilometers per hour. Now, Sofina, you didn't like how I'm not even going to try pronouncing that name. It's Gia.
It's written Giasi, but she says it's Giasi. Who are you?
Okay, wait. It's Giasi.
It's written Giasi. Yes, Giasi.
Whatever. She's called Giasi. I'm going to call her Giasi. If she has a problem, akuja nipige niko hapa. Now, so you didn't like the way she built her characters because you felt that there were so many, and you lost track of the characters at some point. What else did you not like about this book that somebody reading this book should not be disappointed to find those things not properly developed?
Well, that was the only dislike, because majority of it now comes to now what is right. Because, like I said, remember my initial words. There are several. I mean, literally, the book has over 20 characters, literally, and more. So she uses very simple language in just explaining what is going on in the lives of these people. And what I like is the relationship that as a reader you can be able to develop with the characters. So the only unfortunate thing which I really dislike is after this connection with the characters, she just drops them, you know?
Okay.
But
when I'm writing, okay, when I'm writing, if I realize you are falling so much in love with a character, I kill that character. So I love Jesse. Jesse is doing a good job. She would be my friend.
Yes.
We kill characters so that you don't get attached to them.
You've done a great job, clearly. I told you I'd convince you this is a good book, right?
I will read it, because if she destroys your characters once you love them, that is my girl. I love her. And sister is saying you can call her Yasi. Okay, so apparently from the comments, I'm being told that Yasi or Yasi means she was born on Thursday. Who is born on Thursday? Why would anyone be born on Thursday? Anyway, that's another word that I've just developed. Today I'm picking words. If you are born on Thursday, why? Why were you born on Thursday? Look unakimbia wapi? So we go Friday.
No.
Anyway.
But I think it's the same way, culturally. I think culturally it's the same way like the Luo. If you're born in the rainy season, there's a name for you. When you're born at night, there's a name for you. So I think it's the same thing. So in West Africa, Monday has a name, Tuesday has a name. Now you were saying it's Yasi. Yasi is Thursday.
Yes.
So it's just our African culture. Yes.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, let me bring back Eunniah, and she's just disappeared on me, but I'm sure she's just somewhere behind the microphone. Okay. She's just, I said it was a bad hair day. I think she was making her hair and she's just not doing it. Ukienda kutengeneza nywele unatuambia. Now, Eunniah, let's start from it's not very good to start by running. So let's start with me versus me, because I think that's an easier place to start. Because if we start by running, people might run out of the shop. Now, me versus me. What is this? Me versus me? That title looks awkward. Why me versus me? Tell me something interesting about that. It looks interesting and crazy at the same time.
Yes, so my first view about the book when I saw the title was me versus me. I thought it was weird. So I wanted to buy a weird book. So I reached out to Kevin. I asked him if I can get me versus me, because the topic is saying me versus me, conversations with my tomorrow. I thought it is a monologue. Someone is talking to themselves throughout the book. Alafu it's me versus me. I thought it's something to do with mental health. I was expecting a sad book as usual anyway. So shock on me. The book arrived and I opened like this. Boom! It is a motivational book. Almost died.
How did you feel? How did you feel with that culture shock?
Where I felt, I read kwanza. What did I read? I read the dedication. It's okay. Let me just read for you the dedication. For every dark night is followed by a sunny day. This goes to all young souls who wish to make a change in their lives with the help of that positive attitude. Your dreams are just a stride away. Oh my God, nilijua nimeisha. Alafu, it's okay. Kevin is my friend. We are not close friends, but we know each other. So he kept asking me, how is the book? How is the book? How is the book? I have not started. But I think the only thing that pushed me to read the book is because Kevin was asking me constantly, how is the book? I would like to do a better version. So I'd really want your input on this. So I had to read the book. But unfortunately, I didn't finish because I think Kevin writes like I was not being motivated. I'm not a motivational books person. If someone had told me that this book is motivational, I wouldn't have bought it. But that is not to say the book is bad. I read a few chapters. Nilifika page 93 out of the book is 146 pages. I think halfway. I reached halfway. So what I got from the book, it's the author is it's a motivational book telling you that whatever obstacle you come across, there's always a solution. There's always a positive thing that is hidden beneath the struggle you're going through. If you're experiencing, he gave the example that stood out for me was when he was in high school or campus, I can't really remember. He had a huge amount of fee balance, so it was limiting him from moving to the next class. And then one day when he was chatting up with friends, one of his friends gave him a book. And then that book, Nikama Tuhi, is a motivational book. It motivated him to pray, to keep praying about his troubles and asking God to take control. And then someone just out of the blues came out and paid his school fees.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah, so that was my biggest takeaway home from the little pages that I read from the book. At least I read a motivational book.
For once in your life. You are this team that says you are not going to eat chapati, but at least you've eaten one at one point in your life. We shall revisit. Yeah. By the way, what if motivational books are the entry ticket to heaven? Just like somebody told me, what if to keep it and you'll be happy? Look at this one. What if we get to heaven and God says the forbidden fruit was avocado? God, Jesus Christ, I'll be in hell. Now, okay. So first of all, this is a deeply motivational book, and you. I know you. Of course, I know you from very many places. You are not a motivational books person at all. In fact, I don't know how sad your life is. You read sad books. Why do you read and write sad books? We will talk about that. Now,
her blog say otherwise, but that's a story for another day. Because I've been able to read
blog
her
say
blogs.
What?
Otherwise,
we shall discuss that one in the private chat. Now, Eunniah, as much as you are not a motivational books person, what is a motivational books person finding in this book while they read it? I'm very happy that it's being reviewed by an unmotivational person, because the feedback that you give us about it is the exact feedback this person will get from this book. So, what is a motivational books person finding in this book that he doesn't find from, let's say, Simon Sinek? I'm not also a motivational books person, so I'm just mentioning a few that I know. There is Robbins, Sinek. I think that's as far as motivational books as I've read. What's a motivational books person finding in that book?
I have read 2 motivational books. This one and for Gabriel. Pia Yosi Jamaliza, Questions of My Youth. Also, I've not finished it because of the same reason.
Unajua Gabriel ni CEO.
Yes, what will he do?
Hujamaliza book yake. Unajua anaweza shut off hii session na tusiendelee.
He can. He likes me. He can't.
Okay, so but you'll finish it. Okay, so what? Continue.
Yes, so I want to say about the me versus me. I think for people who like motivational books, one thing I liked about the book, he's not beating around the bush. The author is hitting direct to the nail on the head. So, for example, when he starts a chapter, he gives these small examples. He gives a short story, I think a backstory to what he wants to motivate you about. So he gives a short story, I think, relating to him or to people close to him or to people he knows. And then now he starts the lectures. If you're stuck, please go back, write your notes, blah, blah, blah. I think there are also blank spaces within the book where for you to practice it, which I think was a good thing for people who like such kinds of books. So he gives you space and time to chew on what he has given you to eat. And if you think it's helping you, amekuachia space where you can write what you feel. What else did I like? Oh, simple language, very simple language. You don't even need a dictionary. It's all simple. Yeah, simple language. And I liked that he gave examples of what you can meet in life that will challenge you, that will need motivation to go on. That is why he wrote the book. Yeah, I would advocate for people who I'm thinking of gifting a friend of mine who reads motivational books only. She doesn't read anything else. I'll give it to her.
So there's somebody in this world, in this good world, who reads motivational books only.
Yes.
It is like finding out that there's somebody in this world who eats ngwashe only or who eats njahe only. Jesus Christ!
Ngwashe is nice. Ngwashe is nice.
I mean, I'm not even sure how I'm going to walk in these streets after this, because today I've met so many enemies.
Yes, including my hair, my nice hair.
Wewe nitakunulia tu chapati. Wewe hauna shida. Chapati peke yake. And then you'll come to social media and tell everyone else to stop eating chapati. But we know how to handle that.
No, that is good. That is not me.
Asikusikie, by the way, you won't even survive it. Now, before I come back to you in terms of the best, I'm not so sure I'm going to ask you about the characters. I'm just going to ask Sofina. Sofina, just listening to what Eunniah has said about this book, what are you most intrigued about? What did you want to find out most about this book? If I told you, you have to go and buy that book, what would you like to find out most?
Now, first, let me say I'm a motivational books lover. I mean, I've literally the whole.
Okay.
Na umekaa tu hapo nikidis kitabu na usemi.
Robbins, Shama, this pastor, what's his name? I mean, I love motivational books. It's Zig Ziglar. Let me tell you, Zig Ziglar said, you need motivation every day. It's like showering, okay? So for this book, I mean, one, it gives a writing space. I think I'd be like, it helped me reflect on every chapter. But the key thing is, just, I don't want to say sometimes you get into episodes of hopelessness, but, just hearing that story, and this is something that was very striking, the story about the school fees, so that realization that it just, okay, now for me, I'd want to read it because it takes you back to the basics. In this case, the basics about having faith, the basics about prayer, the basics about, hard work gets rewarded. So yes, it's a book. As a motivational books lover, I want to grab a copy of that book. And actually, I'll also be running to grab a copy of Gabriel's book. I don't know why I don't have it. I don't know why I don't have it. But I'll be, in my defense, I have the Diary of Amiaha. So in my defense, I'm not doing it off. So yes, that's a book.
We are going to have so many problems today. Jesus Christ. I'm going to have so many problems with the CEO today because one person on the show has not read his book. The other person on the show has not finished reading his book. Oh, Jesus Christ. How am I going to answer this question?
Douglas, I have something to say. Yes. If the CEO comes for your neck, you see, Gabriel is a motivational speaker himself. Gabriel akikutana na wewe. He told a friend of mine at your whole Facebook, the post you make on Facebook are a whole book. Why are you entertaining people for free?
Wow.
Tell your friend, she might be having very good potential to write. And if you write very good Facebook posts, it means that you can be creative, so you can write. However, do not transfer your Facebook content into a book. Do not.
Why? I can do our Baba's book and I know it will sell. Kwanza you will buy.
No, I will not buy. Wababa. How do you diss me in a book and I buy? Anyway, so this comment was addressed to you, Eunniah. Sito says we should give you Hemingway, R.K. Narayan, Butch, whatever that is. I think those are 3 or 4 different authors, and you need to find them somehow. Do you know any of them?
I can't read motivational books. No, I can't even buy a motivational book. I need a skill too. My money.
Now, at the risk of nobody buying these books, Sofina, you have to go and find those books. Because at least someone has to read motivational books.
They're not like great reads. And I think it's also the realization, and this is something that needs to come out very clearly, because I had, you've started the book reviews today. It needs to come out very clearly that everyone has their particular interest in, their particular aspect that they love in their books. So there is no pressure whatsoever. So the fact that she doesn't, it's totally acceptable because you go with what you like. So that's totally acceptable and right.
Munulie tu chapati. Atasoma hiyo motivational book. Oh, no. Once tukianza kusongea kuku tunajua mmeanza kusongea KFC. Mkianza kusongea KFC tunajua tuko karibu kuitwa gentleman. Ukiitwa gentleman unajua mfuko iko karibu kutoboka.
You are complaining and you're not even the one paying.
Leave us alone. Now, Eunniah, one last question about that book before we go. We jump back to Ghana, and we will be getting to Absolute Madness. One last question about that book. Do you feel the personality of the author while reading that book? And if I am grabbing that book from nowhere, and somebody wants to write a motivational book, and they want to see whether they can grab the personality of the author from the book, do you grab whether the author is quick to anger, whether the author is actually motivated? There are motivational speakers, there are motivational writers who write to you books, and then you realize they are actually not motivated themselves. do you grab the personality of the author from that book?
Wait, umeisikia ati the nutritionists hawakwangi hata healthy. They give you advice on how to eat, but if you look at them.
Exactly. Or I was watching a video on YouTube on how to get 1 million views, and that guy has 304.
You see? But regarding Kevin, if you read the book, he doesn't talk about himself throughout. There are anecdotes he says, the things happen to him, but there are other places he uses second person narration and third person narration mostly. So it's very difficult to associate the happenings in the book to the author. But if you know Kevin personally, he's a very motivated guy. If you look at him, even the way he dresses, that guy is motivated. So I think
like
it reflects. No, not like you. No. You look like a penguin.
I look like a penguin.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll pick this one with you later. Now, Sofina, grab that part that he has talked about just now in terms of writing in third person and, separate yourself from the story as a motivational author, because I'll be coming back to you on that in a minute after I've asked Eunniah this. Eunniah, why should someone read that book then?
I think if you're stuck in life and you're looking for people who are also stuck or who are stuck some time back and they managed to get out of the mud, the book can not just sometimes we always just need to know that we are not alone in this. You're not the only one who is going through a heartbreak. You're not the only one who is unemployed. You're not the only one who has lost someone. Yeah, sometimes ukisikia tu ati, you see the way stima ikipotea kwako unachungulia uone kapia kwa jirani imepotea. Kipata imepotea, you feel nice, Tuko wote. Yeah, it's the same. If you're looking for your psyche, you are not alone. the book is for you. That is all I can say.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting perspective that you bring there. Sofina, there's something very interesting that Eunniah is bringing here. And he's saying that Kevin, in a way, while writing this book, does separate himself from the story, not entirely, but to make sure that you get the message from a third person point of view. Is that how do I say it? Is that commonplace in motivational books?
Well, yes. I mean, now let me put it like this. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And ideally, I mean, this book is meant to motivate you, right? So the writer, for it to serve its purpose, there has to be that relationship that is established. So yes, it's a common practice because when like there's one I'm reading. So right now I'm reading 2 books concurrently. It's called the 5 a.m. Club. Okay, so literally I've been waking up at 5 a.m. because I'm reading this book. So just the fact that in every chapter you have to wake up at 5. Stop. I mean, Eunniah, come on. So previously I wasn't waking up at 5, but now I'm more conscious. Okay, so and now I read first thing in the morning. Like it's part of the morning ritual that I do, which is reading. So I wake up at 5, and then I'm reading the next chapter, and the 3 characters have woken up at 5. So yes, that is very important because it helps you really. And ideally, that is what it's supposed to do: impact your life. Yes. So yes.
Eunniah has been getting shocked the whole time.
No, like listen, Eunniah, listen. I do wake up at 5. Like before even reading this book, I was waking up at 5, but now I'm more conscious, I'm a bit more conscious in that when I wake up, I know I have to read the 5 a.m. Club book. You understand? But also at the same point, I'm reading the tipping point. So yeah, I mean, yeah, so just getting into personally, I get into the character of the book. I embrace it. So when it's motivational, I'm also excited. When it's speaking about when I'm reading the tipping point, I'm trying to analyze Kenyan politics. I'm trying to analyze Kenyan politics from what I'm reading. So for me to say a book is good, it's when I can relate it to my practical life. So yes.
Yeah. Interesting. You connect with the characters. This Sofina are one of those people wenye wanaweza kuchocha uende kuandika motivational book alafu you write a very bad book. By the way, I'm not writing a motivational book. No. but I have the 5 a.m. Club. I've just never got the courage to start reading it. Because I wonder if I read the 5 a.m. Club, will I read the 4-hour work week and then start waking up at 5 a.m. for 4 hours a week? I don't know. I'll find out how that works. Anyways, so anything else you guys want to add about your first books? Anyone?
Yes.
Ama tuende teke to the second one.
Let me say, guys, if you can, Young Yasi came out 4 years ago. So if you can grab yourself a copy, I think you will enjoy it. And basically, if you're a reader, like I've had most of us are, and you're looking for a challenging book, like this book, it doesn't follow the rules of writing. It's broken several of those rules. So if you want something fresh, something new, I encourage you to grab Homegoing.
Interesting. Very, very interesting perspectives there. And if you want to be motivated, if you are down and you want somebody who is, was once down and he raised himself from the mud, me versus me. Now, in the interest of disclosure, I'm sure I'll also have some trouble once I've said what I'm about to say. I took part in trying to find the title of that book, Me versus Me. It was very, very interesting. One day One day I'll host Kevin Odongo on this show, and we'll find out exactly how we arrived at that title, because it was a very interesting process. It was essentially supposed to be called, My Conversations in Tomorrow. And then we were like, in tomorrow? No, Conversations with My Tomorrow. I'm like, fine. Then we arrived at that. Anyway, story for another day. Now, Sofina, we are moving from Ghana to where? To Nigeria now.
Yeah, yes.
You can't do that to us. You are moving us from people who speak in italics to people who speak in capital letters. You can't do that to us.
Let me assure you, this book literally speaks in capital letters, literally. So, shall we dive in?
True. Let's go. What? Okay, so which book is it again?
We are looking at Lola Shoneyin, The Secret Lives of Babasegi's Wives.
The Secret Life of Babasegi's Wives. And you said it speaks about polygamy.
Yes.
Okay, Wababa wote. Wababa wote, relax. I'm calling my crew. I'm summoning my crew. Relax.
Before I attack.
Of course nimeisoma. Nilisoma na nikasoma nilisoma na nikasoma it's called The Infidelity Diet. When after you've read that, you should read The Infidelity Diet. Now, let me summon all Wababa to come here and listen, because we are about to be told about a book that advises us sufficiently. Now, Sofina, keep going. Wababa has wamevuta viti.
All right. So are all the fathers here? Wababa wamefika?
Yes. Wababa.
I am honored. I am honored for this moment, because now I don't want to let out the secret, okay? But basically, this book, like the topic says, it talks about Babasegi. Now, Babasegi is a wealthy businessman. He's rich. He has his own problems with his stomach, which is okay, I guess. But in all this drama, he manages to get 4 wives, okay? So now, at the end of the book, again, I'm really holding myself from letting go of the secret. But the truth is, you might just realize when you finish reading this book, maybe, after all, it's not Babasegi who was pulling the shots, you know?
I know.
After all,
that was
all this and all this opulence and all this, being the head of the family, at the end of the day, generations to come, he was pulling no shots. So yes, that is the book in a nutshell.
I'm really trying to assume that I've not read that book and trying not to be disappointed. When I picked the title, first of all, the person who recommended it to me also recommended The Infidelity Diet. So I decided to read, I was traveling to Mombasa, so I decided to read The Secret Lives of Babasegi's Wives on my way. Then I read The Infidelity Diet on my way back, because Mombasa kuingia ni raha, kutoka ni matanga. So by the time I got there, I was almost done with it, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what have I got myself into? And then I read The Infidelity Diet, and I reached Nairobi, and I decided to look for a Christian book to read. A story for another day. But now, without letting out the cat out of the bag, what is the biggest takeaway you are picking out of this book while you are reading it? What did you like most about it?
Now, let me put it like this. I think in this book, what Lola tries to do is show the gender inequality and injustice that is in society. So, because, we are seeing a situation of just how Baba acquires his wives. Some of his wives are literally, exchanged, by their parents and given to him because there was a poor harvest. One of the wives had simply married him because she feels ashamed to still be in her paternal? Okay, to still be at home. So, she brings out these injustices that women face. We are seeing the competition among the women. We are seeing how the first wife apparently rules the household with an iron fist, and how she kanyagias, the rest of the wives. So she brings out this different she brings out these different dynamics in a fun way, in a humorous way of the African culture. And, as a reader, you get to be very reflective about these issues that are affecting our society. So for me, that is what I liked and I enjoyed about how the author has been able to weave the stories in this book.
Of course, you have read that book, Eunniah, but let's assume that you had not read it, just like we always assume that you have not eaten chapati when a score. Listening to that, before I ask Sofina any other question, what if you are picking this book off the shelf? What questions are you asking yourself? What are you looking forward to learning in this book most?
Assuming I'm picking it and I have not read it before, I think the title says The Secret Lives of Babasegi's Wives. Although it was changed, The Secret Lives of the Four Wives. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think my first question would be, why does he have more than one wife? Why? Kwa nini? And then why are these women having secrets among themselves without the consent of Babasegi, of course? And what else do you want to say? I think what we see at home in our traditional societies is if the husband brings the second wife or the third wife, there's always animosity between the two. But in Babasegi, how are these three kind of best of friends and even sharing secrets and keeping secrets? Anyway, I think that would be the reason why I buy the book. I would want to know what makes these women become friends and keep secrets.
Yeah, and I'm being told that not all books from West Africa are written in capital letters. Broken Glass by Elaine. How do you even look now? Alafu mnasema I am unfair. How do you even pronounce that name? Maba what? Mabang? It's like you are fighting with someone. Mabang.
I'm actually so it's really interesting when it comes to pronunciation in the African languages.
You say, I'll in the at the risk of disclosing where I have traveled to and where I have not traveled to. My first time in South Africa, the driver who was supposed to pick us from the airport had a name that has a click sound in the main. So you call him Tswane, and he's like, no, I'm not called Tswane, I'm called Mwa. What? but that's very interesting. Anyways, so back to you, Sofina.
Yes.
Who is your best character in this book and why?
My best character is the last wife, and that's Bolanle.
The last wife.
Because yes, the last one.
Okay.
Because I feel, she now. I don't want to speak, from a feminist point of view, but she really challenges a lot of the traditional practices. One, here we are seeing an educated girl who becomes a fourth wife. That in itself is queer and odd. But the fact that she's educated, you get to see that Babasegi treats her a bit with more respect, because according to the time when the book is set, you are not supposed to upset an educated girl, okay? And then the other thing also, we see previously the three wives had been able to coexist in harmony. But when Bolanle comes in, we are seeing a situation whereby they are not really sure how she will take in this secret, which I will not reveal. I almost revealed it, yeah?
Yes.
So we see
do not reveal that secret.
Yeah, so we see how that animosity just arises. So for me, I think I like Bolanle because from her, we are able to challenge the status quo in society. Through her, we are able to say patriarchy dictates that the man is the head of the household and he has control over the women. But in reality, that is false, because it's not that education enlightens the woman. I mean, this woman was already okay. Well, education enlightens the woman, but what I'm trying to say is education shouldn't shift the position of the woman in society. The respect that is accorded to Bolanle because she's educated is the same respect that should be accorded to the other three wives, because at the end of the day, we actually get to see they are as smart, if not smarter, than Bolanle.
But you still love Bolanle more.
Just the fact that as a character, she challenges the status quo. I think for me, the fact is that just eye-opening aspect that the book does to the reader. Like I said, for me, it's about the connection. So that connection to be able to, yes, interact and challenge the status quo, which is what I'd also want to challenge in this book.
What's your worst thing about this book?
Now, I love Lola.
This is the hard part. This is the hard part. In fact, I should frame this question this way. Why should I not read this book?
Wow. Now, let me give you reasons why. Okay, let me put it like this. Now, why you should not read this book? Let me put it like this. This book needs someone who understands humor. This book needs someone who appreciates drama. This book, if you appreciate gossip and juiciness, that aspect of writing, this is the book for you.
Mama.
If you're someone who's into things like science fiction, those I don't want to say concrete stuff, but if you're someone who's into like factual stuff and science fiction and maybe a lot of technology, well, you just be like, why am I reading about gossiping women? So I think it comes down to what's your taste. You'd be like, why am I reading about polygamy? It's not even a major practice, at least in the urban society. It's not a major practice in our society. So yeah, I'd say that's a downside, but depending on the character of the reader. But to me, I think the book was well done, just displaying the traditional society, the modern society, the margins of the same, the development in society, of gender equality. Yes.
Very, very interesting perspectives there. Eunniah, are you discouraged from reading the book yet?
No, I've read the book. I wanted to say what I didn't like about the book.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, immediately after, I was scared. No one knows where I live. So what I wanted to say, of course, it's a good book. It's one of my favorite books. But in our book club, we usually discuss one book per month. And what we've noticed with most of the books we've read so far, it's the ending. The writer writes well, and the plot is on point. But after the main thing happens, now you breathe out as the reader. I think ending the book is really a hard task for most people. Either other people will rush the ending, or they will drag it too long, or they will introduce something that really doesn't make sense. So for this book, immediately after Babasegi went and he was tested and we saw what happened in that small room. I think the rest after the secret was blown, I think author Ali story yake ilifaishie hapo. If it was my book, ningeachia hapo and leave the rest to suspense. But I think she tried to show how life after that secret went about, which ikakuwa too boring. That is what I didn't like. But the rest of the book, hey, of course, wababa, at least wamama walitaya in that book.
Hiyo ndio shida ya kuandika vitu za wamama. Ikisha happen, I'm not very so sure whether I can step out of my door now because I've spoken a lot of hate speech today.
I know.
Anyways, now I think somebody is just clarifying something here and saying Alain Maban. Hey, Jesus Christ. Alain Mabanku is from Congo Brazzaville. Perfect. He was born in. Okay, if it's Congo, then Congo speak French, right?
Yeah.
So that this will have to be read in French. So will it be something like Pointe Noire? Pointe Noire. Sister will tell me whether it's read as Pointe Noire or Pointe Noire. Me, I'll read it as Pointe Noire because I was born in Western, in the Mongolomoto village near Shamahoho. Now, don't even worry about the names of my villages. My villages are very interesting. Sister has read this book and she's saying that the fourth wife, the one who questioned the whole dynamics of polygamous family. Interesting story. But, technically speaking, one is either polygamous or polyandrous and not polygynous or polyandrous and not polygamous. I got lost there, but I hope the rest of you understood what that last part meant. I got lost at that last part. Lastly, he says that if Babasagi is complex, check out Mariama Bass, So Long a Letter. That is an interesting one. On that note, Sitso, I'll be looking for you. We need to review that one. That is an interesting one. Okay. And Sons of Independence by Amadou Kuruma. Is it just me, or people from Nigeria are just writing? People from Western are just writing interesting stories. People from West Africa. They're just writing about polygamy and how polygamy goes bad, polyandry, how it goes bad, marriage, how it goes bad.
They have good books, so they have good books. We'll review them next time.
I'm throwing stones out there because I've already muddied the water, so I can as well just finish the war. Anyway, anything else you want to add about that before we move on to running, so that people can decide where they want to run to?
I think just make sure to grab a copy of the book and learn the secret.
The secret, these two girls have intentionally decided not to tell you the secret because after all, they are our mamas, and the four women are our mamas, and those four mamas refuse to tell us or Babas the story. Anyway, it's about time that we found out Eunniah's Eunniah's second book, which is our fourth book of the day and our last book before we go into the lives of my two guests. That just tells you that I'll be grilling my guests after this song. Sit in for that.
Oh my God, you didn't tell me about that.
Exactly. That's why I am me. I surprise everyone. Anyways, I will not grill you. Let me not spoil your review for the last book. I will not grill anyone.
I'm not scared. Baba hamnitish.
You better be. You better be, because this will be tough. Anyway, which is your fourth book, Eunniah? Your second book, our fourth book.
This is my fourth book. It's called Nurse on the Run. Of course, by Writers Guild, and the author is very beautiful. Just look at her.
I almost let another secret out, which should not be let out. I almost said her age.
How would I have survived that?
How would I have survived that?
Anyway, this is my second book, and it is. I am so sorry, Douglas, but this is my favorite from Writers Guild. It's not yours, unfortunately. Wababa.
Handkerchief. Where are people? Why are people this big? Neighbor, handkerchief. I need to start crying. In fact, as you tell us why you chose that book and what is the nurse running away from. No, if you tell us what the nurse is running away from, we'll be in trouble. Why did you choose that book? I'll be getting myself some tissue as you tell us why you chose that book.
I chose the book because, as usual, I am a sad writer. So I like sad literature, and I like literature that when I'm reading, I pause hapo katikati and reflect on the things that are happening in the book. And I try to relate to the things that are happening to people I know or people outside here in the world. And I think Nurse on the Run is that one book that once you read, you wish you didn't know the author, or you wish it was just fiction. But then it turns out that it is a true story and it happened to one of the people you know. So you live where ukikutana na Christine, you really want to hug her because of the book. But then again, we are taught to differentiate the author's life from the author's books. So the main reason I like the book is because throughout it's not a big book. It's only 94 pages.
Right? 94 pages.
Mine is 94. Yeah, so it's only 94 pages, but throughout the 94 pages, it's umeshikilia tu roho. You keep wishing that, no, do not let that happen, but it happens exactly the way you're wishing it not to happen. And then, but what stands out for me in the book is the resilience of, can I say the main character of the author? See, she said it's her story, and yes, so the resilience of the main character, and which is also the author in this case. I really liked her resilience and her drive and her, I think it's just strength that is out of this world. If this story was about me, or if it was my story, I think I would have given up hapo katikati. I think I would have died, or yes, I think so. It is such it is a heavy read. It is a
Would you have given up writing it? Would you have given up writing the story or leaving? You have to make it clear what you are giving up on.
I would have given up leaving the story. Ningekufa within that story. So that is what I'm trying to say. It is a book that once you start reading, you won't put it down, because you keep feeling woishe for that character, because things just keep going downwards. Hey, there is no even breathing point. But again, that is what I like. So it's my favorite book.
Now, you have a lot of wars. Uko na vita mingi za kupigana. Because number one, you have not finished reading the CEO's book. Number two, your favorite book is neither the CEO's book or the assistant CEO's book. From Writers Guild. So on the CEO side, you are dead. That side, you have nothing. You are dead. And then your favorite book is not your host's book. So on the host side, you are also dead. How do you survive? And then you have also muddied the water with motivational speakers. They can't even motivate me to let you leave.
I don't fear people. What is the worst that they can do?
Na wababa unachezea hivi.
Wababa hawanishtui hata.
Unafaa uanze kushtuka by the way. Wababa tuko serious. Now, you've told us about how paced this book, and by the way, also for record, in the interest of disclosure, I was the master of ceremony at the launch of this book. So lazima nijiweke in the position of the favorite. Now, you and I like the way the book is paced, because I read. You will be surprised. There's no book I've ever read in 2 days. That was the only one, and I don't think there's another one I'm reading in 4 days, because 4 days is so little. But I never just put that book down. So it is my second favorite book. You can find my favorite. What are you going to ask? Which is my favorite? My favorite is Chasing a Bullet.
Now, how did you read this book in 4 days? How?
Because I read that book as though I was reading for an examination. 2 days, not 4 days. 2 days.
Okay.
So I was reading as far as I can go. I put it down. I go and work out. I come back, read, put it down, go and work out. It was basically read, work out, sleep, wake up, read, work out, sleep, wake up. Hata sikuwa nakunywa chai. Imagine, a whole me. I didn't drink tea because of that book. Anyway. So, of course, the main character in this book is almost the only character because it's stories that are happening to the character. And what did you feel? What kind of emotions is someone looking for when they come for this book?
The kind of emotions, first of all, my first reaction was I felt sad, and then I felt heartbroken. The sadness developed to a heartbreak, and then the heartbreak developed to anger. And I was so angry when I was, I think, halfway. My sadness and heartbreak developed into anger, and I was so angry when reading. Alafu finally, but at the end, it was okay. Nikasema tu, it's okay. Things happen. So one thing I'd want to, I'll not give the whole story, but I'll just say what the book is about. The book is about a nurse on the run, a nurse who is running from a lot of things, a nurse who is running from country to country because of work, a nurse who is running from hospital to hospital because herself, she's also sick. She also has some underlying conditions that she's battling, that is physical pain. A nurse who is also running from emotional torture and emotional pain. A nurse who is running away from the unit, the family unit that is supposed to be like the pillar that is holding you close. But the nurse in our story is running away from all those things. She's running first. I think the one that broke my heart really was the way she was describing her sickness. I've forgotten the real sickness, but she's sick also. And then the moment she's sick, she's losing her job. Also, the family is disintegrating. She's moving countries because she's changing workstations. And then life in a new country is just thick. And my friend, look, that book. I think it's sadder than my own book. And people say my book is too sad. I think people who say my book is too sad have not read this book.
Yeah, I agree. Your book and her book ziko tu hivi. Zinakimbizana. They are trying to find out which one is sadder than the other. I think the only difference I find in terms of the level of sadness in the two books is how paced her book is. US develops our sadness pole pole. It brings it in small bits until you become very sad. Hers just brings it at once, boom. Then you're like, oh, yes. Jesus Christ, what did I just meet? So I think that's the only difference I find in terms of how the sadness develops. Here comes the tough one. And before I ask you the tough one, Sofina, just listening to the few things that Eunniah is telling us about the level of sadness and the level of trouble in this book, do you want to read it?
I mean, I can already feel, I can already feel the character. And yes, and yes. I want to read this book. And Eunniah has done a very great job just highlighting the key pointers without necessarily telling us the story. So I'm curious to understand what happened. What is this story? So yes, I want to buy the book. How much is it?
I'll put the number below your screen. I'll put a number down, right down below. Call it. I think there's a big problem with somebody like me telling you the price of anything, because it always sounds more expensive than it should be, because my voice makes things sound more expensive than they should be. When it's told to you by a voice that sounds very interesting, unajua mtu akikwambia na voice ina sound like soft layered chapatis, you love that price. So a lady will tell you that price in a better price. If I tell you about the price, you will think that price is too expensive. But I think last time I checked, I think it was going for $800.
Yes. So my point is, it's a book I definitely want to grab.
Interesting. And you can already feel the emotions of the author and the emotions of the characters.
Yes. I can connect.
Very, very, very interesting. Now, let's spoil your day a bit. Eunniah, what did you hate most about that book?
Pardon? Please repeat the question.
What did you not like about the book?
Oh, what I didn't like. Wait, first I say what I liked also about the book. I also the title, Nurse on the Run. It is just, it's a good title. It doesn't spell out the book. It doesn't give you the whole story, because if you read Nurse on the Run, utashanga she running. Yeah, I think I liked the title. I didn't like the cover design. Of course, I didn't like it. And also, I didn't like that it was not.
Oh, what? Eunniah has dropped out. I think her internet has decided to do what mine did. She will come back to give us a bit more about Nurse on the Run. I think she'll be okay. I can see her in the background. Let her prepare, and then I add her. Before we add her back, Sofina. No, first of all, let me. This would be pretty much comments that are related to what you just said. Somebody said here, if Mbabazi is complex, I think we had read that, and then there's someone who has replied to it. So I'll say the reply just right down below. Omar Ombara is saying, listening very quietly, creating no ruckus focus. So what? Creating no ruckus focus. Omar, did you have to bring scandals again? Anyways, Cinderella, tell me right down below what ruckus focus is, because it looks like a poker game. Now, in the interest of disclosure as well, I'll be looking at whether I can host Omar very soon. Omar is the newest author in town. I know Eunniah is also a new author in town. She has a new book coming out.
Yeah.
I will ask Eunniah about it a bit later. But Omar is the new author in town. Her book came out, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. Very, very, very interesting book from the cover. I'm looking for those scandals, and I'm looking forward to reviewing it very, very soon. Wanjira Mudhoni is asking, Douglas, please inform us when you are discussing Solong Aleta and Sons of Independence. I'd love to listen in. Sitso, my name is Douglas Logedi. It's just D-O, the way you are seeing it on the screen. Search me on Facebook, send me an inbox. You need to do this, me and you. We need to review that book. I love that book. It's wow. And everyone will love that book. Very, very, very much interesting. So Sitso, drop me a message. We'll be discussing when we are doing this, because we need to do it very soon. And then, Jesus, when I'm just mentioning you decide to disappoint me. Recommendations from Kenya would be Ode by Shiraz, In Between the World by Vikram, and The Dragonfly Sea by Yvonne. And you didn't even mention my book. I'm disappointed. But I'm not mad. I don't know what's happening with Eunniah's internet. She's dropped off again. Wanjira says they were both part of my master's thesis. Oh, wow. That's interesting, Wanjira. I'm even more motivated to review these books, and more motivated to tell Sitso to drop me a message on Facebook. I'll be, I can't shout my number on this platform. I'll be in trouble. I've already angered Nigerians, Kenyans, girls, Ghanas, and the lovers of Wamama. So I'm already in trouble. And then these guys decided to speak French on my show. They just decided to go on along their conversations. That's I understand. Bonjour. And then somebody else continues, bonjour. And they just continue speaking French on my show. Just check. I can't even get what they're saying. But it's fine. I know none means no. On Ami Su FB, are we friends on Facebook? We are not friends on Ami Su Facebook. We are friends on Facebook. I don't even know what that means. Anyways, I tried. I clearly tried. So he's here saying, we'll be reviewing this soon, and I look forward to working with Sitso on that. Now, Sofina, do you feel enough gist in the title of this book? Because I want us to delve into the title, and I know Eunniah is in the background, and she said that the title does not give out the book at all. Do you feel the title is motivating you to read it, or do you feel more motivated to read it now that you've listened to what you've just said?
Well, if I was working in the bookshop and I saw Nas on the run, I'd be like, not, I'd go like, well, this sounds like the medical field. So probably, I think what I'd say is, looking at the cover, I wouldn't quite be judgmental, but I'd go to the back cover and read the summary. So maybe if I could hear what the book summary says, because that is what I'd want to base my judgment upon.
Eunniah will be giving us that. Now, Eunniah, before I keep warning you to stop angering Mubaba. You don't listen. Now, look at what Mubaba did to you. Cut you off. You are out. Now, look. See your life. See your life.
My God is a woman. She's fighting for me.
Your God is a woman. If God is a woman, I am so sure the forbidden fruit is an avocado. I am so sure.
Oh my God.
Because we have been asking for you people to bring us avocados for ages and ages. Na bado mnatuleta sijui popo, sijui njahe. Who even said njahe is food? Okay. I just angered another group of people. Sorry.
Oh my God. Oh, now you're in trouble, even with me.
Jesus Christ. I need a new house. I am moving to Sentinel Island. Sentinel is the remotest island on the world. Anyway, you are continuing to tell us about what you didn't like about this book before a certain Mubaba decided, get out of here.
I was saying, apart from the cover, I felt like I think the book would have been much better.
Oh,
is it me again?
Yes, it is. But guys? You are back.
Okay. I felt like if the story could have been paced kidogo, rather than just the author bombarding us with facts. I think she was just writing facts, like you go to the market, you buy tomatoes, you come back and cook food, you eat, and then you sleep and go to the toilet, and then rewind, come back, selector. Yeah. But if we could have put some spacing the book, spacing the story, giving vivid descriptions of the place. There is also, someone is saying, I also believe God is feminine, you see? Okay, back to the story. I felt the scenes, Kwanzaa transitioning from scenes, when she was moving from Kenya to, I think, Rwanda, there was no vivid description of Rwanda as a place, was not described well, kabisa, so that you can picture it like I am now in Rwanda. I think they just mentioned it in passing. I think the author was entirely focused on telling the story, but not on creating the story as a picture. I think this book was written in a form of a storytelling book, not a creative writing way. Yeah, so I think that is one place I realized. Yeah, and also I also noticed, okay, the author is also the main character. So we can say there was zero character building in that book. You see, the way you build a character, you give a character, you dress up a character, you give them clothes, you give them a hair color, you give them attitude, these traits you give to people. The book, no character was given such aspects. So essentially, no character was built. That's why I'm saying the author concentrated on giving the story, rather than these other aspects of creative writing. We know character building, plot, how to maintain the plot, pacing the story. Those other things I think were ignored. But the story was delivered. I think that was their main point, to deliver the story.
So if this book was to be done into a second edition, it would definitely be bigger than the first edition.
Yes, yeah.
because then the author would go into trying to build herself more. Because as much as she tells us, this is where I was born, this is how I was born, this is how my life was as a child, you feel that she could give us a bit more about her personality and who she is, and why, because then that would help us to understand more why she's in the situation that she is in.
Yeah, and also one other thing that aids in making a book great is the aspect of dialogue. The book, mainly it's just narration tu mtu anakupigia story, this and this happened. But if you bring two characters together and let them talk on their own, you allow also the readers to judge for themselves. Basing on how this character uses their words, this other one uses their words, you can tell which one is angry, which character has a clean heart, which one is irritable, you see. But there is little or no, I think actually there is no dialogue in this book. If there is it's one sentence or two. Yeah.
So for the authors who are listening to this or watching this, if you want us to like your book, at least bring some personal touch to unless you have a story as great as The Nurse on the Run Head. Because when I was reading that book, and I have to agree with your feedback there, if she did have as a great story as she did, I would probably have quit at page 5. But then her story is so good that you just don't know how to put that book down.
Yeah,
your writer's mind is telling you, why is this character not built? But then your personal mind is telling you can't leave this story, you have to continue. So unless you have such a great story, you really need to bring us different elements of text, because then that's the best way we'll comprehend your text. Anything else? And before we even go into something else, why are people bringing scandals in my comments again? First, Cesar said he believes God is feminine. Then now, Oma is saying that if God was a woman, forbidden fruit is the avocado. Of course it is. If God was a man, the forbidden fruit would be something like a guava. When you take a guava, yes, when you take a guava, there are biological processes that can stop. And there are always end processes.
Achana tunayo. You're spoiling it.
So God is definitely, no, God should not be a woman, no. The forbidden fruit cannot be an avocado. I will go to hell. I can't go to hell. Anyway. Scandals all over. Scandals. Now, Eunniah, your last commentary on that book. Before we go to that. Sofina, when you have listened to what we are saying about the things that we personally didn't like about the book, and as I said at the start of the show, these are our personal opinions, so do not take this to be gospel. We are not preaching any gospel here.
Yeah.
Sofina, when you have listened to the personal opinions that we have about the things that we didn't particularly enjoy about this book, are you still thrilled to read this book?
Yes, I feel like it gives the raw story. It's not sugar-coated, like Eunniah has said, she wanted the character to be built upon. So this is a raw story. This is real. That's what I want as a reader. So yes, I am definitely buying the book, not only for myself, but also for a friend.
Am I getting commission for sales? Am I getting commission for sales?
I am the one.
Well, I can remove all of you from the screen. And by the way, everyone should absolutely look for that book. It is an amazing book, and especially if you are a woman who wants to get married, I would advise you to read 2 books back to back. Read Diary of a Miaha. When you're done, read Nurse on the Run, and then decide whether you still want to get married. Now, I bet now I have destroyed my friendship with the men, because now clearly I don't have a friend. I don't have a friend. But anyway, I will bring them back. Now, Eunniah, your last commentary on that book. What's your general overview of that book?
It's a good book. It's a book you can read. I think anyone can read it, even young children. Yes. So for me, if I was rating it out of 10, I would give it a 7, of course, which is it's a good book. I totally recommend. It's one of the books that I can't give anyone from my bookshelf. Hata akiniambia atarudisha, no. Even if we get a lawyer to sign, no, I am not giving you the book. So it's definitely.
And by the way, if you are borrowing a book, unless it is my book, returning that book is a very stupid thing. You always pay for that book so that that person goes and buys another book. Now, unless it is my book, if it is on my shelf, you have to return it. But people who borrow books don't return. So yes, it's an amazing book and you should go and read it. Now, we've reviewed 4 books here. We've reviewed 2 books from West Africa, one from Nigeria, one from Ghana, and we reviewed 2 from Kenya. We've reviewed 1 motivational book. We've reviewed 1 historical fiction. We've reviewed 1 family fiction, actually 1 family fiction and 1 family reality. So you can see the mix that we have here. We have a real story from family, a fiction story from family. We have a story from history, slavery, and all that. Fiction, but true. And then also we have a story from motivation. And we've given you our views on it. Right about now, before I tell you what I want to tell you, it's always very much good, important or importanter. That is not an English word. If you use that word anywhere, I did not tell you that. You told yourself that. Now, it is always important, I'm using it again, to know the people that you are speaking to. So now, for those who have joined us, because when we started, we were having 4 people viewing. Right now, we are having 69 people viewing. So clearly, we have 65 people we didn't have at the start. So, Sofina, you had told us what you do, but I would want you to say it again before I ask you a very tough question.
Wow. Okay. I think, just let me introduce myself to the 65. My name is Sophina Mourinho. And what I do, I'm an editor at the KE Idealist. So I'm in charge of doing book reviews and the lifestyle column. So those are my cores. And why I'm here today is because I am a lover of books. Personally, I want to publish my first poetry book. I have tried writing, but I still can't get the flow and the continuity of how you move from page 1 to page 20. So because of that, we say everyone is gifted differently. I decided, let me share other stories to the world so that I can have more people who engage in the reading culture. So that's me.
Interesting. Now, Eunniah, I'm not even going to ask you who you are because you've been on this show quite a few times. I'm going to ask you about your latest baby, your newborn baby.
Yes. What do you want to ask about my newborn baby?
Unfortunately, that question is complete. I'm not going to add any words to that question. It's a very complete question.
Oh, my newest book, my newest baby. Hey.
And before you even answer, don't give me so many details because I'll be having you back to discuss that book very soon. So just behave like a bikini. Again, I've made a few more. I've made a few more in it.
Okay, so I will show it on that other show when you call me back. So my new book is called If My Bones Could Speak. It's a collection of poems. There are 86, 1 up to 86 poems inside. Yes, so it's 86 poems. If you've read my first book, it's generally almost the same themes. But there's a lot of rawness, there is a lot of truth, and there is a lot of blood and tears and a little bit of happiness here and there.
You are out of order.
There's a lot of flowers. There is a lot of yes, there's a lot of flowers and rivers.
Oh, Baba.
No, why?
Why? That book. Okay.
Sold out actually. So wewe ulishanunua lakini you're safe. It's almost sold out. I am so excited.
I am very safe. I have a feeling that we need to host you to discuss that book very soon. But we'll be having that discussion with you somewhere else. Because from somebody who has read it, by the way, I'm going to accuse you on air. I don't have my copy yet.
I don't go on.
But I know somebody who has. But I've already started reading the book because I know somebody who has bought the book, and yes, it is an interesting one from what I've seen. So we really need to discuss it. We'll be having a poetry session very soon. Now, let me just bring you a few comments. Joshua Ondieki says it's one of the most intelligent comments I've read today. I do not lend out books to anybody. Correct. 100% on the first statement. If I give you a book, it is because I let you take it kabisa. Correct. 100% of that. Jua hiyo story, Ondeki, nakuja kuomba book kwako. Number 3, many people do not know how to take care of books. Okay. In this last sentence, I feel like I need to be here to defend a certain generation.
Who are your friends? Huh?
Okay.
No.
Imagine my friends usually return my books in the perfect conditions. Huwa nawapatia kitabu, I give them a bookmark, and I give them a PDF of instructions. Ukikunja page, ukimwagia coffee, ukifanyia wanarudisha ikiwa vizuri.
Continue telling me about your friends. Let me show you something about friends. Just a minute.
Who are your friends? I can imagine my friends.
Now, I am back. Now, there are 2 types of friends, okay?
Yeah.
There are friends who read your book with a bookmark and they put a bookmark somewhere. I think those are your friends, Eunniah.
Yes.
Those friends are not good readers. You should not have such friends because they don't know how to read. There is a second group of people who are the best readers. This is how they read. Wakifika hii page, wanafanya hivi.
Wanakunja. Ai.
Those are Ondeki's friends. And those are the best people to have. So if you have friends who wanna fold, and then if they decide to go and read somewhere else on a fold, you meet your book and it has like the whole map of the world drawn.
Unawapatia invoice. You walk into the next bookshop and they get you a new book.
Aye. Kwenda huko. Rehema is saying it should behave like a bikini. Yes, a bikini. No. If I say this story, people will start asking me questions that I don't want to answer.
We know what
I think it's covering the important parts. Covering the important parts. It's that simple.
Yes, a bikini reveals enough, then doesn't reveal anything.
You're doing the rest I may pick from this conversation. Oh my God.
I mean, after this, you should just go and repent before you sleep because you've clearly picked a lot of things you should never pick. I believe Sister was asking whether Christine's book is available on Abe Books. Sister, just call the number that is scrolling down on your screen. That's the Writers Guild number. Christine's book is found in the Writers Guild bookshop, so they'll deliver the bookshop to you. Unless wherever you are, I can assure you, a few days ago you are delivering books to Australia. So wherever you are, they'll deliver the book to you. Don't even worry about it. Also, as you order it, order together with this one. Anyway, you didn't say that. Okay, so Omwa Umbara is saying, congratulations, Eunniah, planning to get all your collections. My appetite has been overwhelmed. Omwa, tell your appetite to a bikini again. Ni watu mnarudisha bikini hapa.
Ni bikini amepata appetite.
Oh, this show is a bikini, by the way. This show is revealing so much without revealing anything. And Wanjira says, congrats, Eunniah. Can't wait to read your books. This is how Eunniah, you always take over my show. I invite you to my show. The show is mine. Supposed to respect me, and then you take over my show. These girls. Sitso says, who are your friends? What is their reading culture? Congrats, Eunniah. Sitso, my friends are the ones who read by folding. And they are the ones who don't return books that you lend to them. they keep them on their bookshelves. And then when you go back to their house, they tell you that book is very interesting. I can lend it to you, but you'll have to return. And it's your book. Those are my friends. So this is the author of Chase of Nurse on the Run. This is Christine the nurse. She's saying, "Thank you, Eunniah Mbabazi. I'm humbled." It's always very good to see that you have given a very critical review of an author's book, and the author appreciates that. Because we've been as honest as we can be. The book is a perfect story, and I can tell you that for sure. So you are welcome, Christine. I feel like I know the story. Which story? The story of the bikini. Get out of here. Get out of here. Eunniah, I was coming to say that this in your inbox, but because of your hair, you should keep your hair down more often.
Yes, say that to Douglas. In your face.
Oh my God. I'm not having a good day today. I'm not having a good day. I am not having a good day.
In your face.
Says, this show is a bikini chasing a bullet. Logedi, don't worry. Everyone is using my words against me. I am not having a good day. Anyways, unfortunately, as much fun as we are having, we should end here. Unfortunately, as much fun as we are having, we should end here. Because we've already been on for 1 hour, 56 minutes. We should have been on for 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And some people, you see, people have just been enjoying this show in the background. Signed on a letter comments. So, salams ziwafikie. Kwani wewe ni Mluya? Hussein.
Hussein Mluya. I know.
Walujera tunasalimianga na kila mahali kwenye tunaenda. But anyway, I'm a Luya and I like kusalimiana, so keep it up. Now, so I think we need to wrap up here. But before we wrap up, Sofina, some last words from you. About the books you've reviewed, about what you liked about the books, and about yourself and where we can find you as well.
Yeah, I think mine is just to say to all those who are tuned in, just embrace the reading culture. Just to repeat what I had said previously, things that have come up is like, Eunniah talks about not reading motivational books. Myself, personally, I'm not a fan of science fiction books. So identify the niche that you're interested in and dig in, explore. I'm so happy just seeing Sitso Kwaku's comment. I'm just realizing he is such a diverse reader, and literally from his comment section, I'm challenged. I have more than 6 authors noted down that I can go and explore. So I think this is a great platform to just share and to be able to learn. And for that, I'm thankful. Where you can get me everywhere. You can get me on Twitter at @Merino. You can get me on Instagram as Sophina Mourinho. But most importantly, as the editor of the KE Idealist, you can just type in the KE Idealist website, and you'll be able to get a variety of content, ranging besides the book reviews and the lifestyle that I do. We are also talking about health issues. We are talking about education issues. We are talking about current affairs. So we'd love to see you on our page. Come visit us, let us interact, get information, and just enjoy the love and the love of books that we all have as readers and writers. And I'm also challenged by Eunniah. She's mentioned that she's written her poetry book, and I'm still struggling with my first poetry book. So yeah, I'll also be getting in touch. And I love your blogs. I just recently discovered your blogs, and you're a great writer. You connect. I connected with your articles. So to me, that is one symbol of a great writer. Thank you.
And the newest author in town says, it was great listening to you, Merino. I just decided to say your name the way it is, and then she wrote Merino.
Merino
this is your new name.
Merino is for moi. Merino is a ship. I won't take that lightly.
No, this is your new name. This is your new name. This is your
Really,
new
that's
name.
not fair.
I am editing your
I shall
contact on my
report-
phone. I'm so editing your contact.
I shall report you to the CEO.
Oh, okay. Now, when you say such a threat, I have to take it seriously, because I might lose the show. Anyways, thank you very much. I still have a few bones to pick with you. Over to you, the scandalous author. You are officially the second newest author in town. We have a new.
Yeah, I saw her. Over
So,
to me.
some last words from you and where we can find you. Of course, Merino has already given away the fact that you have a very interesting blog.
Oh, wait first.
Any
I
more
wanted you guys to see my t-shirt. You see my t-shirt?
What is that? What is written on your t-shirt?
Come
We
on.
get to read and write and be awesome.
To read, write, and be awesome. Alafu hapa ni kitabu. Hapa. Na coffee, na chai. Anyway.
There's just one thing missing on that t-shirt.
What?
My name, like Read Douglas books.
I can't remember about my t-shirt. Anyway, where you can find me. You can find me on Facebook, Eunniah Mbabazi on Facebook, on Twitter at Universal. Where else? You can find me on, you can read I write also business stories. Apart from being an editor at the Kenyan Wall Street, I also write business news for Kenyan Wall Street. You can find me at kenyanwallstreet.com. I'm also an editor at Mystery Publishers. So if you have also a manuscript, also Mystery Publishers, maybe the mimi is edit. We can also meet at my blog, mbabaziafrica.com. That is most important. I post every Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. religiously. Thank you.
Interesting. Exactly 10:30 a.m. I've tried to discipline myself to post at a specific time. I've never quite managed. I've managed to post on specific days, but not time. Anyways, so from myself, am I also supposed to say the same things you guys have just said?
Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Douglas Logedi Luhangala. I'm the author of Chasing a Bullet, a journey through the life of a terrorist hunter. Very amazing book. You can find it everywhere. And you can also find me at douglaslogedi.com, Facebook, Douglas Logedi, Twitter at Douglas Logedi, LinkedIn, Douglas Logedi, YouTube, Writing with Douglas Logedi. So Douglas Logedi, basically. So thank you very much. And thank you for tuning in. We have ended the show at a record 89 people viewing. I have never ended a show when there are 89 people viewing. I always end at 21. So thank you very much to all of you. I'm very much excited to see how this will go in future. Every month, the last Friday of every month, we will be doing book reviews. These two amazing ladies will be with us here very much often. You'll also hear a lot from another lady called Munira. You'll also hear a lot from Gabriel. You'll hear a lot from Noah Roy and a lot of other very amazing people. So I'll bring you a lot of people to review different books very much often. The last Friday of every month, we will be here to review different books. We will choose them. We will choose them by our own choice. We will give our opinions and encourage you to buy them where they should be bought. And where we have criticism, where we have some things we didn't like, we will say them because we are also trying to help these authors become better with time. So till next week we'll be having a totally different story, a different show on a different segment. I will keep you guys updated about that as things go by. I'll be speaking to Sito so that we can see whether we can review the two books we just talked about. Have a good night, people, and have yourselves a beautiful weekend. I will remain here with my guests and kick out the rest of you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.